Well, good morning and welcome back to another video. Today you join me back at the Island Fisheries in Mere, and I'm fishing peg 6 today. It's a peg I have fished before in the past and had a little bit of success on. And apologies, I'm filming on my action cam at the moment is because it's absolutely chucking it down, and the forecast today is pretty grim. There's only meant to be a few breaks in the showers today, but non-stop rain apart from that, which is a shame really, because the weather we've just had, it's just been bank holiday, the April bank holiday, Easter, and the weather was absolutely glorious. But it actually looks like it has turned the fish on a bit. The past weekend catch reports have been pretty good, but it does look like the fish are going on the verge of spawning. There's quite a bit of activity in the margins. I wouldn't say they're quite there yet, but definitely any day, definitely this weekend, I would imagine they're going to be spawning. So I'm not too hopeful for today. The weather, like I say, isn't the best, but it is low pressure, so in that regards, hopefully we can get ourselves a fish. But without further ado, I'll go through my tactics with you a bit later. For now, I'm just going to sit on the brolly, make myself a brew, and fingers crossed we can get ourselves a fish. Well, there we are, first fish of the day, and what an absolute stunner. Nice scaly carp, and that was taken on my left hand rod. It's just flicked out underarm with a 2-foot zig, a bit of black foam, and it's absolutely done the business. And that's ended my blanking streak for the past few sessions, so I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with that one. Right, let's get her back and see if we can't get another one. Apologies for the sound quality today, guys. As you can tell, it's absolutely chucking it down. I don't know if you can see that out there, but it's been non-stop for the past hour, and I thought it's about time I go through the tactics. Been about an hour since I had that fish, probably around the 7-pound mark. I'm fishing 3 rods as I normally do. My right hand rod I've got on a blowback rig, just on my normal setup when I come here, and I'm using a CB4 spicy krill, effectively, flavour wafter that I've had soaked in its corresponding glug for the past 3 nights, and I'm casting that out with a PBA mash bag of about 3 or 4 boilies that I've had as well, soaking in the glug as well. And my middle rod, I've got that out towards in the bay of the island, so I've got a nice long bay right in front of the swim, which I've got that pretty much in dead bang in the centre. In that one I'm fishing a Ronnie rig, size 6 hook, and I've got a banana and nut spice flavoured boilie and white coloured, and I've just chopped that down so it just slowly flutters down to the bottom and sits quite nicely, so it's really critically balanced there. And then my left hand rod, as I mentioned earlier, there's quite a few fish crashing about. It looks like they are getting ready to spawn, but it has died down since this rain sort of come in. I thought It looks like they're in the upper layers, so I thought I'd chuck a zig out. I wouldn't normally fish if they were spawning. I wouldn't normally fish, but it doesn't look like they're quite there yet, which is why I've decided to carry on and fish. I got the left-hand rod on the zig, and that was actually the rod that caught the fish earlier. And that's on a zig about 3 foot off the deck, on a bit of black foam. Nothing too fancy, and that's what's worked so far. So if we do get a break in the ray, I might change the middle rod over to a zig as well. But it's not looking likely that we're going to get a break. So yeah, that's the tactics I'm using today. Fingers crossed we'll get enough for one later. But for now, I'm going to have my lunch, and I'll catch you later. There we are then, second fish of the day, and this time taking on the right hand rod on the CB4 wafter out towards the point of the island. And what an absolute cracker of a fish. 17 pounds, 13 ounces. Absolutely over the moon with this. What a cracking fish. Right, let's get a few pictures and then we'll slip her back. What a lovely cracker. Just slipped back like 17 pounds, 13 ounce mirror, and what an absolute result that is. Absolutely chuffed to bits to have caught that one. It's been a little while since I've caught a fish up to around that 20 sort of pound mark, so it's a welcome reward, and it's actually sparked a little bit of a change in my tactics now. After that fish I had earlier on the zig, I haven't seen much sort of activity in the upper layers, only the odd swirl here and there, so I'm actually having a think, and I thought, if I'm going to get a bite now, I think it is going to be on the bottom going into the afternoon. So I've decided to bring the zig in and put on an upper blowback rig with a CB4 wafter soaked in the corresponding glug. And I've just popped that down to my left hand margin, similar area to where I had that carp on the zig, because I still think that's going to be a good spot to have one. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but I'm feeling confident we might get enough for one. Again, still raining, absolutely chucking it down, but who cares when you're catching fish? So it's just coming up to 5:30 and I've got to start packing up because my day ticket's only run until 6 today. Past hour or so it's actually been pretty decent weather, so I've managed to get some filming done. Apologies, it's not going to be up to its usual standards. As you've seen during the film, the weather has been pretty bad today, so there's been only a few breaks in the rain where I've managed to get very minimal amount of filming done. But what a result, 2 fish, the biggest being the 17 pound 13 ounce, and I'm absolutely over the moon with that, especially after the last few sessions where I've had a few blanks. So thank you very much for watching. Like I say, go follow me on Instagram, that's where I'm regularly posting some content. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.